Luo Feng looked at the materials for the 10 directions world form in front of him. The golden scale beetle corpses were given by his master, Emperor Chu, and the other biological materials were obtained from the world he was garrisoned in. The 10 directions world form I have comprehended is different from all of these, Luo Feng marveled. The materials for the 10 directions world form came from different creatures, so naturally, there were some differences. What matter should I use to construct this form? Luo Feng pondered. According to the world life form heritage description, simply comprehending the 10 directions world form only accomplishes half. It's also necessary to study the origin Tao of matter to find matter suitable for the 10 directions world form. Only by combining the two can a powerful life form be created. Like some who have only comprehended the great Tao of life origin, such as the ancestral god of the snow realm, their life forms are not inferior to the 10 directions world form, but because they are condensed purely from divine power, they are much weaker. With the capability of formless and intangible, Luo Feng could still imitate it. Let's try. Luo Feng attempted to transform. He started with the 10 directions world form as the foundation, transforming by referencing the matter of primordial bloodline creatures. Whoosh! Countless divine powers were transforming. The previous form had a maximum of 108 trillion particles, but the 10 directions world form is a world unto itself, without limit. Luo Feng understood this from his heritage. In theory, as long as his soul can helm it and his spiritual will can control it, the life form of the 10 directions world form can grow without limit. Soon, Luo Feng, referencing 7 materials, created 7 avatars. These 7 kinds of matter are all very suitable for the 10 directions world form, with the Silvershan Beast King having the highest compatibility. Luo Feng quickly determined. Of course, these were creatures naturally bred from the primordial bloodline with 10 directions world form, so their material constitution was naturally rather perfect. Transform, Luo Feng began to transform, divine power continuously converting. With the increasing number of conversions, Luo Feng became more proficient. However, it still took almost half a day in the land of origin to completely transform the godly body. The godly body has completely transformed, and my soul and spiritual will can still control it. Luo Feng felt relatively at ease inside Star Tower, which had become incredibly large and towering. The soul is much like an army. The more immense the soul, the larger the number of troops naturally. The spiritual will, on the other hand, is much like the army's commander. A powerful commander can make the army unleash tremendous combat power. A weak commander can make the army fall weak and defenseless. To control a powerful physical body, both the soul and spiritual will are very important. Continue to accumulate. At this moment, the small universe at his home was continuously transferring divine power into the primal chaotic space within his body. In the primal chaotic space, divine power was also constantly being transformed into the power of the 10 directions world form, perpetuating his growth. At this stage, the size of the body depends on one's own Tao. Luo Feng realized. Godly kings place great importance on unlimited godly bodies because they represent foundation. The size of the small universe is determined by the foundation. Luo Feng's perfect divine body meant that his small universe was as vast as the supreme rules would allow. Yet the unlimited godly bodies were somewhat inferior. If it were a weaker godly body, the small universe would be smaller, corresponding to the primal chaotic space inside, which would become a small universe that is much smaller in the future, and the souls naturally bred would be smaller too. The foundation determines the size of the small universe as well as the godly body and soul foundations. Of course, the foundations of the godly body and soul can be changed through cultivation. If one cultivates the soul path, it is natural to strengthen the soul, but this path is very difficult. 99% of godly kings have their souls grow naturally. To change the foundation of the godly body also requires the cultivation of the body's Tao. The great Tao of life origin is the best at this. Like the ancestral god of the snow realm, every river and snowflake in the entire snow realm territory is part of his body. Only at this step of cultivation does one begin to transcend the foundation of the godly body. Luo Feng felt that, after the godly body had completely transformed, an invisible force was converging in the primal chaotic space. As he had a perfect divine body, Luo Feng's primal chaotic space was spacious and tough enough. At that moment, Under the converging invisible force, the primal chaotic space began to naturally give rise to a world. An inner world was evolving naturally. This is the world life form. Luo Feng sensed all of this. Under the 10 directions world form, each basic unit of life encompassed a small world, and a giant physical body formed by countless life units, where the power of the world was extremely dense, would naturally open up into a complete world. The primal chaotic space within was obviously the most fitting. Boom, boom, boom. The massive body's endless power of the world converged, and the small world continued to grow. Let's go outside and have a look. Feeling that the small universe was stable, Luo Feng's true body finally exited the Star Tower and stealthily left Chi Capital, concealing his power. Whoosh! Luo Feng's body naturally merged with the world, as if becoming a part of it. In just a few breaths, he arrived at Hyong City. As a world life form, even traveling is this fast, Luo Feng exclaimed. Although he hadn't reached the level of those terrifying beings who could descend to a place with a single thought, reaching Hyong City from the borders of flame-wined ancient country in just a few breaths still amazed Luo Feng. This was much faster than before. My small universe can naturally reflect the outside world. Luo Feng stood above Hyong City, and his small universe naturally reflected it, able to cover an incredibly vast area. 3 primal chaos prefectures, Luo Feng confirmed.